Okay, wait a second. So wait, I had
Whoa,
an
hey,
issue. Hold on. Yeah, wait. Yeah, wait. We got an issue. Hold on. Give me a second.
whoa, there's the red.
Yeah. Well, that's a clusterfuck. I'm gonna have to change the background at some point tonight. So give me a. This is gonna be fun because all of our stuff is saved in a different loading area. Anyway, welcome to Loud and Nerdy on a Tuesday, where technology, for old folks isn't great. Anyway, my name is JW
Well, I mean, you're
Colwell.
wearing an X-Men '97 shirt, so I mean, your technology is acting like it's '97. It all
Yes,
makes sense.
it's perfectly suited. Um,
Speaking of things that started in '97, Jerry, how'd your show go? The Slapjaw.
Show was fantastic.
you had a
Good
big show.
turnout.
It was at the ballroom, right?
Yep.
What is the name of the ballroom?
The Moon Ballroom.
Moon Ballroom.
Moon Ballroom.
We
Oh,
we have
awesome.
a guest tonight that's got a big thing coming up at the Moon Ballroom this weekend. So super excited about welcoming Professor Magenta to come on and talk about the mythical fairy circus. I believe or fairy is it? I don't know what it's called. I'm terrible at this. And also, I got to man. Okay, so don't worry about that. Pay no attention to the band behind the mask, the man behind the thing. It is this that we have coming up. There's a fairy tea party. There's a mermaid cove. There's a black dragon iron and glass. So cool stuff there. We'll talk more about it. Mythic Fairy Market is what it is. I knew it was something Mythic Fairy. A lot of cool things coming up at the Moon Ballroom, Lunar Tides, Food by the Moon Tavern Ballroom, all kinds of cool stuff.
He has a lot
And
of events coming up. There's signs.
yeah, he's got it going on, and pay no attention to the background. This is terrible because all of our stuff is here. I saved it in the wrong one. Anyway,
Raven says YouTube's just playing the intro on loop. That's awesome.
is it really?
That's what she claims. I don't know.
Is it really just playing?
Good evening, Ken. How are you tonight, Ken?
I hope it works for
Ken.
everybody. YouTube just keeps playing the intro
Even-
on loop. Interesting. I don't know why. Let us know if it stops doing that. Good evening, friends. Good evening, Ken McCrony. Thank you for joining us. Hold on. We're loading on my app. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it works. But welcome. Let's talk a little bit about your show. Was it well attended? Did you have enough people show up?
Yeah, there were quite a bit of people. 11 bands. It went pretty well. I mean, they ran a little bit late, but not really that late. I mean, it might have been 15 minutes off at the most.
Well, yeah,
All
but
the
for
bands
somebody
were
your
great.
age, that's a big. That's
Yeah,
a big
we were-
deal. That's like
We
you
were
gotta-
the oldest band there.
You're
We
the
usually
oldest
are
band
these
there?
days, but I was talking to one of the kids there in I call him a
Thank
kid
you,
because
Ken.
he is, right? In another band, and turns out they were the youngest band. And I was showing him my guitars and that. And I'm like, man, my guitars are older than this kid. Like, I mean, they were good though, great band, but
Yeah,
and they had all digital gear. I have all old school stuff, and I'm like,
working
I'm
now,
carrying
but that was
around
very
200
interesting.
pounds
Yeah.
of gear, and this kid's carrying a pedal this big into this club, and sounds amazing. So
well, maybe we can
Good
learn
time.
from the youth that work easier, not harder.
right.
Good evening, Joe Ridgely, the fearless leader of the Indie Escape Network. He had a big announcement last night on our show. He is looking for a co-host on a Sunday night show, and he is going to come back and co-host with somebody. So, if you are a watcher of our shows, either Generation Movie or Loud and Nerdy, give either Joe or I a holler if that's something you'd like to try to do. because I already host 2 shows on this network. I do not need a third. Although working with Joe would be easy. I am not trying to boost numbers. No, not at all. Laugh out loud. Hey brothers, hi Sean. With regards to the boosting numbers bit, just so we're clear, this is a funny story. The reason it came up was because Joe was seriously asking me if I was boosting numbers, because Generation Movie last week and this week's episode, they're way over their totals. So we don't know if people are just finding them, or we like organic. We hit the algorithm. We like organic growth. And the same goes for our show. Our show is an organic growth show. So we're happy to be here. I'd be remiss to not talk the news of the week. And the news of the week, first off, it was this guy's birthday this week. He's 87 years old. Damn. Yeah.
I didn't know he was that old. I figured about
Here's him as a pup in one of my favorite movies of his that not enough people talk about. It's a movie called The Last Detail. A fantastic movie. Here's him winning an Oscar, one of his many Oscars. And then the last one for all the horror fans, here's him getting ready to bash Shelley Duvall's skull.
I love those behind the scenes of him in The Shining when he's working himself up to blast through the door with the axe.
Well, yeah, but her behind the scenes and his behind the scenes were 2 very different things.
Yeah, they were.
Shelley Duvall became a basket case. And I feel like Shelley Duvall is also one of our crafty actresses, in the sense that if you were a kid when we grew up, we had fairy tale theater, and everybody was on fairy tale theater. And that show was produced by Shelley Duvall, and it was a great show, right? And she did all of the famous fairy tales with major act, like fucking Robin Williams was the Frog Prince. You know what I mean? Like, just ridiculous shit. And they were all pretty cool. They were on Showtime. They're nowhere to be found. They're like Tales from the Crypt. You can't find them anywhere. So, happy birthday, Jack Nicholson. The other big star of the week, of course, is, we'd be remiss not talking about it, but there's this. By the way, the marketing for this film is astounding already. Then there's this. That's the second poster to come out. Him just playing with the talons. And then there's this. And this trailer that can only be described as the Let's Fucking Go trailer. And where I would tell you, it's a great trailer. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Hank Pym is a giant dead zombie. Ridiculous shit. We know a little bit more about the villain, but I'm pretty sure we know who she was anyway. Trailer's pretty good. Is this the most anticipated movie of the year, Kyle, at this point? I know you're watching.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Game 2, Rangers Capitals. You got part of me here. That's it.
I got a piece of Kyle. So not only does he ignore me on the Twilight Zone, but now he's going to ignore me on the question. Yeah. Fine. But Jerry, what do you think? Is it the most anticipated movie? I was trying to think of other movies that are anticipated. Raven brought up a good one in her comment earlier. She's excited about Wicked, but they're breaking it into 2 parts, so she's not sure now. Everybody, I think, is a little bit excited about Beetlejuice, because watching Michael Keaton put the jacket back on, knowing that he's still a great actor, right? That he still has. You said you watched Knox Goes Away, right? I mean, you can tell Michael Keaton still has whatever it is.
Yep.
It's there. And if you're going to tell me he's going to be a Beetlejuice, and it's he's got all these young people in it, he's got Ortega, and, he's got Winona Ryder returning, I think that's an anticipated movie, but it's coming out in September, so it's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
But, I for horror fans, I think Terrifier 3 is very anticipated. Just because it's Christmas based, and I don't they're going to defile Santa Claus in ways we have never imagined. I would imagine.
Yeah, that's almost like the the new Lloyd Kaufman movie
Yeah, but I think they're better movies though. I think
They are. They're made. They're made
practically
better.
effects are better.
They're not quite
and
as slapsticky as.
yeah, I mean, and he's become a full-fledged horror icon. You know what I mean? And David Howard Thornton,
Yes, I did,
really
Raven.
good young actor.
They're
He's been
not trauma. They're something weird. Something
Fair.
weird video, right?
Yeah. Let's get some comments. Let's see. Let's see. I've been sharing both your podcasts. Thank you, Vicky. Well, it's good. You're going to be a guest. Well, not Vicky, somebody else. But thank you. Fuck, he's 87. Yes. Boost the numbers are awesome. Congratulations. Thanks, Sean. We're always looking to boost. I have all the Shelley Duvall fairy tales on Laserdisc.
That's cool.
That is a cool. That is something you need to like put onto a. Can you take it from Laserdisc and put it onto
You
like
can.
a DVD or something, and then put it
I
to
can make. I can make
computer?
VHSs digital, so you could make a laser disc the same way.
That'd be interesting because I think they like I bet you went to like I want to say flea markets. You could make a bundle just selling those because nobody knows wrong. One-on-one interview is a must-watch. Her in a car talking about The Shining, and her life now is heartbreaking and compelling as hell. Yeah, she's a complete basket case, and they did a whole interview. She kind of lives all by herself in like the middle of nowhere, and people don't even in the town she lives in doesn't know that it's Shelley Duvall. And somebody I guess tracked her down, and they did an interview, and it's just the hell she was put on in The Shining is something we we don't do that to actors anymore. They have rules, you know what I mean? Because she was absolutely mentally and physically abused on that set. So I mean, and it comes across in the performance, right?
The Exorcist cast
like
was too.
yeah, I mean, I think everybody in that cast was that cast is most Kubrick casts. Kubrick and Cameron are the two casts where the shit. I can't wait to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that's what on everybody's mind. 6 F-bombs in the trailer alone. Yes. Lots of F-bombs. Lots of lots of dick claw jokes. It's a pretty good trailer though. Let's see. No one else could be Beetlejuice but Michael. That's true. But I also think you think somebody else can be Beetlejuice? Who said that? You said
You
that.
never saw him.
I didn't say that. I'm about to say, "Oh, stop it!"
I've seen Alex Brightman as Beetlejuice on Broadway, so.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, different though. He's a different Beetlejuice. That the musical requires an entirely different.
No, but still, he has that same
He has a verb.
presence, though, as Keaton has that.
I saw
Yeah.
the traveling show. I agree.
No.
It's a different. I don't know that he can beat if he had a Beetlejuice off, I don't think he'd beat Michael Keaton. Kyle, did you watch X-Men 97 yet? Yes, he
I
did.
am caught up.
He's caught up.
I did.
Thank God. I was going to give you a pass because the boy is home.
Hey, is he really, though? I haven't really seen him that much. I
Can
haven't
I
seen
get
my car
Can
at
I
all.
get a copy? We all want a copy of the Fairy Tale Theater. Hey, not Vasquez. She has mental illness. Okay. I don't mean it. I meant. Okay. I said it the wrong way. She is legit mental illness that was caused by being treated terribly on a set, and I don't agree with it. I feel bad for her. She's agoraphobic now. I wouldn't want to leave the house either. I don't think Alan could do the movie, and Michael couldn't do them. Okay, fair. But everybody's talking about the Deadpool Wolverine trailer. It led me to I think it's going to be one of the biggest hits of the summer. The R rating. I'm intrigued because there are so many rules these days about letting kids into movie theaters, and I think we're going to have some interesting fights breaking out in July as people try to get their kids in to see Wolverine and Deadpool, and also just not being able to be allowed there because we at my AMC. The rule is no kids under 10 after 7 o'clock. So if the show's at 7:30, kids can't even be in the theater. It's not even a thing where adults can buy the kids tickets and go with them. They can't even like go into the theater. So that'll be an interesting how we skirt around that particular issue, because it's going to be the most R-rated film that's for most audiences ever. Like,
Prove
oh
my
yeah,
kid's under 10. He doesn't have a license.
that is a great rule. I tend to agree, because I think where it comes into play is when people bring their babies and stuff into like an R-rated film, and like the babies are crying and screaming because they don't want to be there. Or the young kids don't want to be there because it's a horror movie or something. So
You're screaming at the wrong time.
You're screaming at the wrong time. I had a good week. I saw a lot of stuff this week. Let's see. I saw. Oh, that's funny. Now that's from the other side. I'm not sure. Okay. I saw this first. This was the first thing I saw this week. Abigail. It's a blast. Well done vampire movie. Very fast. Very kinetic. It does a pretty interesting thing, Jerry. It makes up its own vampire rules from amalgams of other movies. So, like, the characters do a meta thing where they're trying to figure out the rules, and then the movie sets up the rules, which I like. I like if you're playing around with like a franchise, a movie that's been done before. Vampire movies are especially tricky, right? Like,
Right.
Is the welcome thing in effect? Is the the
Right.
garlic, is that in
The
effect?
mirror.
Does the mirror work? Sunlight, sunlight work. I think what I love best about this movie, aside from performances, the performances are really good. The movie I'd say it most resembles for me is The Usual Suspects, because there's a Kaiser Sose effect of like, once they find out who the little girl is, like a crime boss, it's his kid, and maybe somebody else as well, but definitely a crime boss. And there's a tie-in with all the characters, and then it's well done though, and like,
Man, you just reminded me of Innocent Blood when you said that.
yes, that's another movie it really resembles. Innocent Blood, which is a fantastic
With Robert Loggia.
campy, fun horror film, and Abigail is very much like that. It's not just the ballerina vampire movie. She's the actress, by the way, fantastic. She is really good.
Look, it says Jerry chilling in the basement.
It does say Jerry chilling in the basement. But the Abigail movie is interesting.
Does look about right.
It
Right
is
down to that outfit. That's what Jerry wears.
It is a little bit.
You might have it here somewhere.
She's about as tall as Jerry is. I don't want to. I'm not being mean. It's the truth. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good little horror flick. All the actors do a really good job. Angus Cloud, it's his last movie. He's the kid from Euphoria that passed away suddenly. And then it has Catherine Newton in it, so she's been in a couple of things. She was in Freaky and a couple of Ant-Man and Quantumania, and Melissa Barrera, who was in the last two Scream movies. And it's by the Radio Silence guys, and they've basically taken an older Universal movie and refurbished it, and it's really well done. Also has Dan Stevens, who's become the unsung hero in all these movies. He was great in Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, and he's great in this. It's a completely different role. I really enjoyed it. Abigail was a lot of fun. You should go see it. Not enough people are going to see it. Also, this is the time where I say to you, if you've been bitching that there isn't anything original, that's great, Jerry. That's scaring the shit out of me. Cut that shit out. If you're bitching about there hasn't been anything original, or they don't make enough original movies, this is an original movie. And also, this movie is original as well. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which is based on a novel, a true story, partly true story about basically Winston Churchill creating MI6, which is the basis for this movie. The Henry Cavill character is actually the basis. You find out in the movie, Ian Fleming's actually in the movie working for Her Majesty's service, the Royal Navy, and the guy, the guy that basically is the basis for James Bond is the Henry Cavill character who goes behind enemy lines to steal a bunch of things that the U-boats run on. Like the U-boats have like specific things they need to be able to take control of the Atlantic before the Americans join the war in like 1944, right before America gets involved. We couldn't get across the ocean because of the U-boats controlling the shipping lanes and everything. So this movie is a basis, in fact, about the bunch of guys that went behind enemy lines and took out the necessary equipment that the U-boats needed, like filters and torpedoes and different things they needed in order to function. So it's a lot of fun. It's got a great cast. It's got lots of action. Cavill's great. This guy, Alan Ritchson, who of course everybody loves from Reacher, he plays a guy named the Swede, and all he does is stab shit. And it's a men on a mission movie, and it's got a little bit of the Guy Ritchie humor, but it's also really extremely violent and just Alan Ritchson running around. Like Alan Ritchson reminds me of like James Coburn in The Magnificent Seven. He doesn't necessarily use firearms. He only uses stabbing weapons because the Nazis killed his brother. So he only uses stabby weapons, and he does a lot of stabbing, like with axes, with tree branches, like just anything the guy can pick up, he shoves into somebody in an aggressive fashion. So that movie's really good too. I don't understand why it's not doing great. And I at this point I get on my JW soapbox with regards to movies and go, if you continue to not support movies that are original, you will continue to get remakes and reboots and whatever. So you've had ample opportunity the last 3 weeks to have original movies, and the biggest movies of the weeks were Dune and Godzilla Kong, which is the 5th entry in a franchise, and Dune, which is the 2nd entry in a franchise, and everybody knew they were going to be hits, but that's beside the point. Civil War's been out. We've had ample opportunity to make that a hit, which is because it's a great little movie. This Abigail movie is a fantastic horror film by Radio Silence. Really good young filmmakers making it. And The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is fantastic too. And people aren't going to see it. I would say if you have a dad or an uncle, take your dad or uncle. They will enjoy themselves. They will be like, oh, that was like any number of 17 World War II films that they really loved as a kid, like The Dirty Dozen or The Magnificent Seven or any of the Men on a Mission movies.
Delta Force,
or That's for Us. That was more us. But like even like Dirty Dozen, Great Escape. You know what I mean? Just like based in reality with a lot of flair is the best way to say it. I also saw Late Night with the Devil. If you haven't seen Late Night with the Devil, why haven't you seen Late Night with the Devil?
Where'd you see that at?
I bought it on Fandango Voodoo for $15. And it's some of the best $15 I've spent in a while. It's just this great movie about found footage of a guy who was like challenging Johnny Carson in the 70s. He's not real, but a lot of the stuff that the basis of the movie horror wise is basically about a cult and about, possibly communing with a demon that works with the devil and the devil himself. And it all takes place on a Halloween episode of this late night talk show that's been challenging in the ratings to Johnny Carson is the theme of it. And but he's fallen by the wayside, and this Halloween episode is his last ditch effort to try to get ratings. So he puts on a woman who has found a girl that's been and saved her from a cult, and she has things, just some problems. It's like that line from Ghostbusters.
Raven's been waiting patiently to. What kind of basement does Jerry have? After
It's
the
it's
picture
scary,
was
baby.
with the title.
It's
But
mysterious.
it's
It's like a
mysterious.
museum down here.
He
Let's
dragged me down there once. I'm not gonna lie. I did escape, but barely.
putting money on Lady Deadpool. They showed a clip with a machine gun. That's usually her weapon set. Maybe. I don't think she's a villain, though. I think we're getting a lot of Deadpool. Please say the vampires don't shimmer when they're in the sun for this one. Nope. Lots of explosions. It's not Buffy either. It's not nothing is. There's a lot of blood. I think they got like a deal on the blood packs. Usual Suspects. Okay, I was interested. Now I might put it higher on my watch list. It's got the Usual Suspects DNA in it. Think about like because the early part of the movie is essentially a criminal enterprise to kidnap a young girl. That's it only becomes a vampire movie once they realize they're all fucked, which is perfect. What kind of basement does Jerry have? Full and also full of bodies, but we don't talk about that. It's a rule we have on the show. Movie night because now I kind of want to see it. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's not just a good movie. Like it's fun, a lot of fun. Dan Stevens was amazing in Legion. If you're an X-Men fan and haven't watched it yet, do yourself favorites on Hulu. Yes, Dan Stevens was great in Legion. He plays somebody that most X-Men fan would know, but not a lot of people know about that show, Raven. That shows an interesting. Aubrey Plaza's on that show too, and she's fantastic. Maybe. And then said, "Don't."
Is he as good as Ben Affleck in Phantom, Joe? Ben Affleck was the bomb.
Yes. Dan Stevens was the bomb in Legion, yo. Phantoms, by the way, I know you make fun of that movie, but Phantoms is a fantastic movie. For what it is, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was an 007 biopic. Alan will always be bad to me. Laugh out. Fair. It's not a biopic, but it is. Ian Fleming is in it, and it's also the character by which Ian Fleming based James Bond. Okay, so what else we got going on? Those are the big movies that are out. Lots of things going on. X-Men '97 ongoing on Disney Plus. We can't talk about it because we're 6 episodes in on a 10-episode season, and only after everybody gets to see all 10 episodes will I feel that I know you caught up. But I was thinking about it. If you haven't caught up, because Rich Dries, my co-host on Generation Movie, is only 3 episodes in, and he said to me, I don't want to talk about it. And I go, okay. He goes, I hear bad things happen in 4, 5, and 6. And I'm like, that's a minor understatement. But okay. And he's like, I just heard bad things. I'm like, yeah, that's let's see, Stairs Daggers at JW. Yeah, it was a modest understatement that bad things happened in 4, 5, and 6. But we're not going to talk about it. No spoilers. But it is great. And Kyle thinks he's figured out what's going to happen. Kyle and I have chatted about this, Jerry, but I don't want to bring it up on the show because I don't want anybody to. We had a moment in time when I did this show a long time ago where people got very upset when spoilers were mentioned. So, and this show I think is ripe for trying to catch up all at once or doing whatever. So, I will say that I think the characterizations are really, really good. I think they've done a really great job I think the villains are really good. I think everything about the show it screams 97, but it's full on 2024. And that's the best thing I can say about it is that they've done a great job. I also like how they've minimized Wolverine. I love Wolverine on the old show, but Wolverine tended to dominate the old show. He used to, like, every 5 seconds he would be screaming bub at somebody and beating the shit out of Cyclops or something. Like, so they've minimized him.
While rubbing Jean's picture.
Yes. But I think they've done a really good job. They've done a really good job minimizing it. They've done a really good job minimizing. He's still, cool Wolverine, but it's.
But they realize they don't got to tell his story because everyone knows who he is. Plus the movie his movie with Deadpool coming out this summer. Whether they want to get everyone else up to speed on the rest of the characters, this is the way to do it.
Well, this I think is the best chance for your wife to see me eat a hat on on a show. This is the best because this character is getting a lot of play, a lot more play than she used to. And she has a love interest.
And a hell of an arc.
Hell of an arc. And she's dating.
No
She's apparently going to be dating
right?
Sunspot. So I think
we didn't say which character.
I think he's Sunspot. But anyway, I'm excited about
Gene's cheating.
Gene does well. No,
that's not even.
Sort of.
I'm making stuff up.
Just saying. No, but you're hitting on a major plot point. Anyway, shut up, Jerry. You don't even know what you're saying. But I do want to. I want to point out.
Who knows?
The other thing about the show that's been really good with the writing wise has been the fact that Magneto has always been a great villain for the X-Men, but he's always been in the gray area. And then the villains that they've established, the one villain they've established is one of my favorite all-time villains that just, he needs a better big screen incarnation than Kevin Bacon, is all I'm going to say. Because he's been portrayed by Kevin Bacon, and I want a bigger, better version. Kyle, you're calling me after the show. Tell your wife I'd rather talk with you tonight. Okay, so she wants to talk about X-Men.
X-Men.
That all depending on whether or not the hockey game is over. I just don't mention to Misty that she's a vampire in the comics now. Ooh, Jubilee's a vampire. Oh, she's not going to get her own movie. Everything's fine. We've had an Abigail. We have Abigail. Anyway, again, the bet for anybody who doesn't know is Missy Defina, Kyle's wife, bet me that Jubilee will get her own motion picture in the next 10 years. 10 years? I think it was 10 years, right?
I don't think there was a time cap put on it. You just started pushing for a time cap.
Well, I'm pushing for a time cap in the sense that we're all getting older. Time is a finite substance at this point. So we should put a time cap.
I guess you determine when.
Okay, so
you determine when it expires.
Well, I'm just gonna say I don't want my dead body propped up and fed a hat if a Jubilee movie comes out 10 years after I die.
We're talking retirement age.
Yeah. Wait, fuck. Now we can't put caps on things. Vampire and a single mom. Oh. Jubilee's sounds very whorish. Sounds whorish.
16 and pregnant with Jubilee.
Oh. But
Could you believe it?
I bet the fingers are snappy. I was terrible. Okay. Okay. So one of the things that we do on the show, and one of the things that we like to promote, not only promoting Jerry's show that went great at this ballroom that we're talking about, but we do have somebody on to talk about the Mythica Fairy Festival. It's occurring. It's not Mythica Fairy Festival. I totally fucked that up. I botched it again. I keep on botching it. It is what it is. No, it's not that one. Mythica Fairy Market. Festival. I want to say festival because I think Fairy Festival. It's the alliteration of it. But we are happy to have somebody on to talk about that for a few minutes and let us know everything that's happening. We're going to run some pictures, let everybody kind of know what's going on. But we are proud to welcome Professor Magenta of the Mythica Fairy Market. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. How are all of you?
I like the midsummer dress. You're not going to get eaten by a bear or anything, are you?
No, we're
okay. I'm a horror guy.
How is Roger, by the way?
He's fine. He's taking a nap.
He's hibernating. Okay.
He's hibernating. Yeah.
That's why she's not going to get eaten by a bear.
Okay. So, Jesus Christ. Okay. So you're doing the Mythica Fairy Market, and it is. Tell us a little bit about the event, what people can hope to get out of it, and what you're looking to do, and how well are you set up for vendors and things that are happening this weekend?
Well, we are all set on vendors. I actually sold out, so I have no vendor spots left. We have 45 different vendors coming in, selling everything from crocheted items to homemade soaps, fairy houses, wings, clothing, For a fairy market, you pretty much think Renaissance period festival with
Can I ask
lots
you a
and lots
question?
of
Is there
fairies.
are you doing lots and lots of fairs? Do you have like a coin of the realm kind of thing? Is it something where you have to go and you have to exchange coin, or is everything cash? Because I sometimes fairies like to be paid in trinkets. How does that work?
We do trinket trading. A lot of
I was
fairies will carry
joking, but thank
trinkets in their
you so
pocket,
much.
and
That's very Jawa-ish. That if
yes,
a little known fact, if you go to Disney World and you see a Jawa and you offer them something from they have things in their pocket that they'll trade with you. So that's super cool. I'm super excited about the idea of getting Kyle. Are you going to this event? Can you get me like something cool from a fairy?
What time does it end on Saturday?
it ends
There you
at
go.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. So
If I
you
get
also
out
I
of work,
noticed
as long as I don't get overtime Saturday, then yeah, I'll
so
try
you
and make
have
it for the last hour.
I have some pictures up for events that you have. There's a fairy tea party. Tell us a little bit that kind of entails and how much are the tickets for that?
The tickets are $10 a seat. You get lemonade or tea with a fairy. We're also going to be serving cookies and cakes. The fairy will be doing 2 crafts with each of the guests, along with telling a story, and you actually get more one-on-one private time to take pictures with the fairy.
Okay, so it are these particular. Now I have so many questions. Also, there's a Mermaid Cove. Tell me a little bit about that.
The Mermaid Cove is our mermaid who is our health teacher for Peaceful Hollows. She will be doing pictures, trading trinkets with the children. She likes to trade seashells.
Nice.
And she'll also be doing some sing-along songs with the children, some sea shanty songs, some Disney under the sea type stuff.
Okay. So are these? Do you have like a
Well, the
particular
mouse is
set?
going to have a field day.
Do you have a particular set of fairies that are like that are running the market kind of thing? Is it like a fairy enclave? Like specific fairies with
It's
like
being
specific.
ran by Peaceful Hollows Preparatory School for the Magically Inclined. It is our school that we take to festivals and to markets and do hands-on educational crafts and lessons with the children. Our potion master likes to blow things up, so he does a lot of like the elephant toothpaste, the volcano acid and base mixing, chemical
Oh, neat. Okay.
reactions. I have
Okay.
another one who teaches care about magical creatures. So they teach you different things about mermaids and how to interact with other animals.
Now is it only running one day? Is it only running Saturday?
It is only a Saturday event. If this event does good, we will be looking at doing a full weekend event.
Okay. So I'm looking at the schedule. Welcome to the Fairy Market, 10 to 10:30. Opening ceremonies 10:30 to 11. Some yoga, unicorn dance party. I feel unicorns are like I'm pro legend unicorn. That's my favorite unicorn. Even though she gets hurt early. You got a drum circle. You got Mark Mysterio, who's a magician, a very good magician, I hear.
Yes, he is
Um,
very good and known. He is from the Scranton area, so it's great that he got involved with us and is helping to do us this event.
and you got Storytime of Fairy Venus, Unicorn Dance Party again, and then like closing ceremony. So I also noticed that you have Black Dragon Iron and Glass. So you're going to have like custom stuff that you can get made at the thing.
We will have our Black Dragon, who's one of our teachers also. He will be outside blowing glass right there in front of everybody to see. He does do custom orders, and when he's making the glass, he likes to get the audience involved and go, okay, what color should I add to it next?
Okay. Okay, and then I noticed you also have an ogre
trading
hold on,
post.
what? Yeah, ogre trading post. Ogres usually aren't very
Hamish
good
is our
traders.
ogre, and what you do is children can bring them a little toy. He can tell them a joke, do a dance, and as a reward for giving the ogre entertainment, he gives the kids toys.
Okay, that's super cool. Okay, so
Ooh.
this is a full on event. So it's something new and original coming to the Scranton northeastern Pennsylvania area. Let's see if we have any questions. Let's see. Raven says last minute, JF ketchup for your hat. It's not going to be a good Raiders hat. It's just going to be. It's not going to happen. We're not going to get a Jubilee movie. It was cursed more on this episode than ever. Laughed my ass off. I don't know that I've cursed more on this episode. There were a lot of f bombs in the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, so it's kind of got me going. Also, I got messages from friends with the trailer being "Let's fucking go." I got a lot of messages from friends about like making plans to go see the movie. People, entertainers may have trinkets to trade, but the vendors are cash. Lots of awesome homemade crafts and art. So are tickets? Is there a website or anything that you would like anybody to know about so they can get the tickets in advance, or what do you got going on?
If you can get your tickets in advance, you can get them offline, right off of our Facebook page.
Which is what?
If you look up Mythical Fairy Market,
okay,
it'll be an event that pops up.
Okay,
there's a link right in there that for tickets they're $5 ahead of time. We will have tickets available at the door for $10, and it includes all the entertainment, all the crafts, all the interactions, except the tea party in your ticket that you buy to enter the event.
Okay, so everything is covered except for the tea party. Tea party is an additional 10.
Correct.
Right? Excellent. So this is a unique event. It's something that's coming to northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm super excited. I hope you have a great turnout. I will be in Florida, unfortunately. I would show up though. I don't want to say I'm a huge Fairy fan, but I am a huge Fairy fan. They're good people. Anyway, what else? Is there any other thing? What's the last thing anybody needs to know before they go to this event on Saturday? Professor Magenta.
You don't have to be part of the fairy realm. You can come dressed as a regular human. Everybody is welcome.
Everybody's welcome.
Have a good time and enjoy the festivities.
That is a perfect way to do it. And like I said, I think the interesting thing is this, and Jerry will back me up on this. This Moon Ballroom is making plays, right? They're a nice place.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Good food. They're doing a lot of events. They have the Comic-Con. They have, Jerry had a Slapjaw concert with 11 other bands. Now we get this at this Moon Ballroom. I think they're doing a really good job of trying and making, everything more inclusive and fun in northeastern Pennsylvania.
June 1st, they're bringing back the midget wrestling again.
Yep, that's amazing.
Yes. So
thank
you so much for joining us. I appreciate you coming on and letting everybody know what's going on. And I wish you the best to you and your event at the Moon Ballroom, and pass on along my happiness and warmth to all the fairies and ogres and everything that show up.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, and I can't wait to see hopefully some of you at the event.
And like I said, we're happy to promote events like this and happy to help the Moon Ballroom out with anything they got going on, and especially friends of the show like yourself and all the other little fairies that watch the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend. Good luck with everything. May everything go well, and may all the things be fruitful and whatnot. I don't know how to talk. I'm sorry.
Fairy dust on stuff.
I talk movie. I don't really. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend. And
what he's saying is he doesn't talk fairy.
Don't start. Don't do this.
Thank you for having me so much.
You have a great night. Thanks for coming on, and we appreciate you. Good luck with everything. And we hope to have you on in the future when it's a full weekend. And, by all means, pass along and let us know how things went. Send us some pictures. We'll put them up.
I will. And we have our next big event is September. So I'll keep you updated on what's going on for that.
Keep us updated on that. We'll promote that as well. Thank you for joining us, Professor Magenta. Say hi to everybody in the fairy realm.
I will.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Rangers win 4-3.
Super
They're
cool.
definitely doing a lot
show. This is the Facebook thing. If you want to go, Mythic Fairy Market. Thank you, Raven, for putting that up. Let's see. We got a couple of things. Should add this kid on. Hello, Black Dragon here. Thank you, Chris. I'm the glass blower. Hello, all. Hello, Chris.
Nice.
Also, Black Dragon will be taking love requests in order made right in front of you all day. That reads weird. Live requests. Live requests. Taking live requests.
I like love requests better.
Love requests are good too. It's a fairy market. You got to expect some sort of potions to be hanging out. But live requests.
Cool though.
We will also be at more events, including Bushkill Volunteer Fire Company. Excellent.
Right on.
Event page and the school's page. Thank you so much. And dragons. And in the morning, hopefully they'll be making waffles. School actor troupe host page and event page links posted up. JW Cottonmouth. I'm a little bit under the weather, so don't
if
forget.
There's dragons. Are there also donkeys?
That's what I was That's what I was doing with the waffles. In the morning, we'll be making waffles.
Beowulf.
If you got kids, bring them out. I would love to be a guest. Tell you what, next time we have a big thing, you can come on. If it's a full dragon outfit, you can definitely. I'm Professor Draggy, the glass blower and blacksmith. Okay. And love request, laugh my ass off. Wow. Yep. It's all perfect. It's all perfect. But yeah, we're a big proponent of
Google Draggy the glass blower. We're not responsible for any results.
Yeah, don't Google that. I'm gonna say no. Just go to the Facebook page.
No, absolutely not.
I think you could run into some other free love events. But anyway, now okay. It is now time for our very vaunted things that we do every week. Super excited. Kyle, I know you care less. I know the Rangers won, so everything's fine.
Rangers won.
The Rangers won, so everything's fine. Jerry, we do this wonderful little segment called what? What the F?
What? Oh, we have the red background now.
Yeah, it came from Jerry's basement. We're gonna go back to the black background in a second because all my stuff is in one place, so it's just a mess. Okay, so it came from Jerry's basement. What is the movie this week, Jerry?
This week's movie is The Curse.
The Curse. Now, this
1987.
This movie has a young Will Wheaton in it, and it goes by a couple of names, right? It goes by The Curse is the name, but it also goes by another name, doesn't it?
It does. I don't remember the other name though.
The Farm.
Yeah,
you might see international copies of it as The Farm. Tell us a little bit about the movie.
It's basically about a glowing orb that hits Earth, unleashes a parasite into the water supply, and whatever drinks the water ingests this parasite and becomes very violent. And Will Wheaton finds out really quick that it's in the water.
Yeah, it's a 1987 movie. It's a scary horror film. Where is it available to stream? It's on Tubi?
It is on Tubi.
Tubi. Just so everybody knows, it's directed by David Keith, who's a great actor. Yeah. Yeah. Directed by David Keith. It's his directorial debut, and it's based on H.P. Lovecraft. So if you've ever seen or read the short story The Color Out of Space, it's basically about a meteorite crashes in a farming community and infects the water supply. And it's a great little movie. It's well done. It's one of those 80s horror films that had more play on in VHS form for you and I renting it at Orals, right? And
Yep.
Eventually, falling in love with it on a rental during the weekend when we would watch these movies. But it's a good little movie. It's solid. It has a lot to do. It has a lot in common with something like The Gate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Very similar. And Will Wheaton,
Mars, similar to Invaders from Mars too.
Yeah, Will Wheaton has he's it's right around the time he did Stand By Me. So he was in a lot of things right around this time. It's also around the time he got Star Trek: The Next Generation. So it's Will Wheaton, who's one of our favorite nerds right now. It's a good movie, solid stuff.
And Claude Akins is in it, and he was in everything.
Yes, he was in a lot of stuff. So Claude Akins was amazing. If you don't know who Claude Akins is, he was the in From Here to Eternity. He's in The Sea Chase. He was on a lot of television shows.
Yep.
A
lot of movies too.
Police Story.
John Wayne movies.
Yeah, John. So he's a good older actor that kind of is like he kind of helps the kid try to figure things out before it's too late. It has a little bit like The Blob too, in the sense that nobody believes the kid for a while. Right. You know what I mean? But it's a good movie. It's a good, solid, wonderful.
The Stuff is like that too.
Stuff is a great movie, but that's about rampant consumerism, not some poor kid in Tennessee. That's just about people being stupid and obsessed.
But the kid gets it, and nobody else believes him.
Nobody else believes him. So some comments. Let's see. I can interview in my blacksmith shop. Excellent. Well, like I said, next time we have something going, maybe the one in September, bringing special sellers for the next Rocky show. Okay. Thanks, Jerry. Got to check it out. I've read the Lovecraftian short story. I'll have to add to my October watch list. Yeah, it's a great October watch list movie. Perfect for every day, trying to hit one new horror movie a day. And now it's my favorite part of the show. Again, I gotta figure out what I gotta jump around to get here. My favorite part of the show.
Your favorite part is when I show you the fun little thing I got for the week that I found that I kind of like.
Oh yeah, you have a segment. Sorry, your segment. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, Funkos. They re-released for the 85th anniversary of Wizard of Oz.
That is a very expensive Funko.
But this one,
yeah.
But this one, the exclusive is the black and white version, because the dress is black and white. Where if you don't get the Funko exclusive one, it's the blue dress. So plus they also did.
I got a Funko ad for it was Luke Skywalker in. I think it was Luke Skywalker in the Wampa, like in the Wampa cave. And I was like, it was exclusive. You only can buy it at certain points. And I read that and I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of Funkos. I don't have a lot of Pops.
I don't got a lot either. I just that interests me.
Pops aren't my thing. I prefer action figures.
We have like every Chucky Funko here.
I have some Funkos.
Well, I'm sure there's more with the new series that's happening. So
I have very specific Funkos. Do you know what the 4 Funkos I have that I definitely have? There are 4 Blade Runner.
Earth, Wind, Fire.
No, Rick Deckard, Rachel, Roy Batty, and Chris are the 4 I have. So those are the ones I definitely. I also have the little girl from Ghostbusters after. I have Phoebe. So those are the ones I definitely have. Let's see. I got to change the background again. Here we go. Moving back to red. Can't believe I fucked up that much stuff. Anyway, Twilight Zone Redux. I'm going into this. I have never seen this episode. Did he just turn his TV thing on?
It's awesome.
Son of a bitch.
He's getting the Funko out of here.
He's getting the Funko out of here. Don't give me the finger. I've never seen this episode, Jerry. Opening narration.
I've never seen it either.
The episode is titled "The Four of Us Are Dying." It's the 13th episode of the Twilight Zone. It premiered on January 1st, 1960. So it premiered 14 years to the day before my birth. His name is Arch Hammer. He's 36 years old. He's been a salesman, a dispatcher, a truck driver, a con man, a bookie, and a part-time bartender. This is a cheap man, a nickel and dime man, and with a cheapness that goes past the suit and the shirt, a cheapness of mind, a cheapness of taste, a tawdry little shine on the seat of his conscience, and a dark room squint at a world whose sunlight has never gotten through to him. But Mr. Hammer has a talent discovered at a very early age. This much he does have. He can make his face change. He can twitch a muscle and move a jaw, concentrate on the cast of his eyes, and he can change his face. He can change it to anything he wants. Mr. Archie Hammer, jack of all trades, has just checked into a $380 a night with 2 bags, some newspaper clippings, a most odd talent, and a master plan to destroy some lives. Okay, so this episode is really interesting and unique and weird, and it's not necessarily like you're not rooting for the protagonist. I thought, Jerry, at first, because this guy has a talent, he can change his face. And when he goes to the hotel room, he has a series of clippings.
Right.
And I thought maybe there was going to be a story tied to them, like where he was close to somebody.
They were right.
And essentially what it is he's got newspaper clippings of people who have died, and he just wants pieces of their lives.
Right.
And so
it's random.
It
doesn't tie together like you think it does.
It doesn't tie together in any way, shape, or form. And that it plays to the power of the end of the story, that it doesn't tie together in any way.
Yeah, it does.
And so it's really unique in that sense. But like the first face he uses in the show is of a very famous musician who died in a car crash, and he uses it to woo this very beautiful singer into going to meeting him and leaving town and skipping out on town.
Right. Because
she doesn't care if he's a ghost or if he's real, but he informs her that he is real. And so it's the most beautiful woman he's ever had. And he has this kind of moment outside of the club where he just talks about her, about I've never had a dame this beautiful kind of thing. So this is a character that he doesn't elicit compassion for this mallet.
No, he just wants the dame.
He just wants the dame. He then uses the clipping. Oh, I shouldn't get to that one. He then uses the clipping and he impersonates a gangster and gets a bunch of money from a gangster long thought dead, and basically, kind of whatever. And when the gangsters chase him out, he runs into the lobby, outside, and he runs into a crummy little
alleyway, dead end alleyway.
An alleyway. And in the alleyway is a picture of an old boxer. And to escape the gunman, he basically changes into the boxer. Well, the boxer, these are the faces that we're talking about. So he has the boxing face, the henchman face, the face he uses in real life, and then the musician. And basically has all these different faces. And the boxer's face, as he comes out of the alley, basically he is accosted by an older man who says, "Don't you recognize me?" And we find out that the boxer that was in the picture killed a woman and hurt his mother, and this is the boxer's father saying, "Thank God you've come home to finally pay for all of your mistakes and all your sins." And he pushes him down and doesn't think anything of it. Well, later on in the episode, he keeps the boxer's face as a way of protection, but the dad comes to find him, and the dad ends up shooting Archhammer. And so it's the father that was wronged by his son. It's the one face that Archhammer can't talk his way out of. He tries to change his face, tries to do whatever, but he can't. And the father shoots him. And the title, "The Four of Us Are Dying,"
they all die.
They all die. All of the characters that he has played. He was Archhammer, a cheap little man who just checked in. He was Johnny Foster, who played trumpet and was loved beyond words. He was Virgil Sturrock, with money in his pocket. He was Andy Marshak, who got some of his agony back on a sidewalk in front of a cheap hotel. Hammer, Foster, Starrick, Marshak, and all four of them were dying. And he's a cheap guy. He has an incredible talent, and using these faces and taking advantage of these people comes back to haunt him when he uses the one face of a character that doesn't forgive him or want anything to do with him.
You know what I found interesting? When he would walk outside and they were showing all the neon lights and they're twisting like the camera and stuff. For whatever reason, I thought like Sam Raimi. I don't know why, but maybe
it plays like a weird musical,
like comic-y, right? Like 50s comic
and just
book
like
filming,
and like
right?
musical, like going to all the bars.
Yeah, it's flashing things,
and the only
it's
place
twisting. It's at an angle.
It all at an angle, all at a weird place, and then it comes all. And when it focuses on where he's staying, the place he is staying is the Hotel Rio, which is because he's living all of these weird, like all of these fake lives, and he's a terrible person. So I will say this is the second episode in a row where we've had a protagonist that was kind of a shitheel. That this guy is not a good person. He takes advantage of a lot of people, and also he's very petty. Like when he makes somebody mistake who he is, he treats them like total garbage, and it includes.
Am I supposed to know you, old man?
Yeah, like he treats him like total trash. So when the dad comes back with a gun and shoots him, it's like, this is.
I gotta think of a face.
I can't think of a face. I need to twitch a muscle. But it's tragic and it's awe-inspiring and it's really good writing. Although I don't think this is one of my favorite episodes. I agree
with that.
It's interesting writing. Okay. It's okay, but it's interesting writing. Some comments. Let's see. What do we got? Time for Kyle to zone out and for JW to teach us some Twilight Zone knowledge. Dun dun dun. There. Wait, is Kyle really going to buy something for his room every week? This could get very expensive. Are you going to buy something for your room every week?
Oh, I got like 20 weeks worth of stuff already.
Okay.
At least.
I didn't have.
And some of the stuff I pick up for free.
Too, dude.
I didn't have any until a friend surprise gifted me with the RHP set he found for 10 for the set. LMAFAO.
The faces I was making.
Loud. Yeah, the faces. I know. Joe originally, someone mentioned to me that Raimi is directing another Spider-Man flick. No, he's not. That's absolutely not happening. I don't think. I mean, maybe it will be like an offshoot Spider-Man. I mean, the belief system is we're just going to make crappy Spider-Man movies in an effort to keep Spider-Man under Sony's thumb. Okay. Kyle will not be here next week. Kyle, you're going with your son to DC. Hunter, who is visiting, we wish him the best and interesting stuff. I heard he may be attached to Secret Wars. Secret Wars is going to be tough, although we're going to hear more about Secret Wars as Deadpool and Wolverine gets closer. Because the launch, many think the launch for Secret Wars will be in Deadpool and Wolverine. Jerry, do you got anything coming up this week?
No, nothing this week.
What about, and Kyle, you have a big trip planned to DC, right? With Hunter and the family?
Yeah, DC, North Carolina.
Raven says, give the boy my love. I will be, what we got going on, my thing, we got JW the Movie Guy on Facebook, Twitter X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, don't say X. Blue Sky, and
I'll give it to you.
Things. Also, if you're inclined, we're in the middle of Bondathon 2024. We just got done with Timothy Dalton and License to Kill last night. We were moving on to this movie come this Monday called The World Is Not Enough, Pierce Brosnan's third foray as Agent 007. And in 2 weeks from now, we will have Skyfall, Daniel Craig's third and possibly best Bond. We'll also be doing some movie reviews.
When you get into the Michael Myers ones?
What?
When you get into the Michael Myers ones?
What Are you talking about Mike Myers?
Yeah.
Michael Myers is a Halloween character. Mike Myers was on
you put
Saturday Night Live.
some of his acting is pretty scary, my friend.
Just so we're clear, Michael Myers is a guy that lives in Haddonfield.
That's a man.
Mike Myers is a guy that was in Chicago's Second City that stole a lot of material from a lot of people. True story. He stole Wayne's World.
When are we getting to those movies?
Powers. We're not getting to those because they're not Bond movies.
Oh, behave.
Anyway, The World Is Not Enough coming up next Monday on Generation Movie.
It's in my belly.
Oh, that bastard. Both of you. Thank you for joining us tonight. I want to thank Professor Magenta for joining us.
Who
from
does two work for?
Who does number 2 work for?
The two of you. I want to thank Professor Magenta for joining us from the Mythica Fairy Market. By all means, go out and support those folks on Saturday, 11 to 6 at the Moon Ballroom in Scranton. Thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. Watch some movies. I would say Late Night with the Devil. I'd also recommend Abigail and Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Challengers is opening this weekend. Zendaya, directed by the guy who directed Call Me by My Name. So
should probably watch that movie too.
What was that?
Should probably watch this movie.
Dreamscape's great. Interesting thing about Dreamscape gets pushed aside because it came out the same year as Nightmare on Elm Street. So
but Dreamscape was fantastic too, though.
Different. They're different.
They are different.
Night, guys. Great show. Thank you, Raven. Thank you for participating. And again, I want to thank our guest, Professor Magenta, and I wish all those fairies and all the dragons and ogres and everybody else that shows up, even the regular humans, a lot of fun on Saturday. Thank you, boys, for having a good night.
I don't think we're going to stop until we get 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't do this. Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody have a great evening. Bye.